Her
We
too.
live. We live.
We live?
We live.
All right. Well, I guess introduction.
Wait a minute, I don't see us yet.
We live.
I'll wait until she sees us.
All right, now I see us.
Okay, so introduction, because you keep on reminding me. This is Truth Talk with Trevor, about to be renamed Trevor's Rant.
Oh, I like that one.
About to be turned down that damn phone.
We're going to get rid of that intern.
God damn. I mean, there's always Grayling. There's always the deer. We can send him to the deer.
We can send them away. Send them away, Trevor. I love it. Send them away.
And give him a D for not showing up tomorrow. You have to walk from Grayling?
Trevor, you're making me laugh.
But
let me start sending this out because people be waiting for you. You be hyping them up in the mornings on Friday, getting them all ready for the weekend.
you know what I did for this morning?
What you do?
I, at 6 o'clock, crawled into bed after I printed this out and sent you your copy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you sent it at 6 this morning?
Yeah.
My phone started ringing at 7. Y'all know I'll be sleeping.
Oh, no, I sent it to your email. I'm courteous.
Oh, yeah, I know, but people was calling me this morning early.
Yeah.
One after another. You know why?
Why?
Eric May's going to be on Ricky Smiley Morning Show Monday.
National.
National.
I mean, he was already national. I guess this is a small step for him.
Well, yeah.
But you know what? Congratulations to the man for absolutely everything.
Yeah.
And congratulations to, what's the show again?
The Wyntis Hall show?
No. The show that Mr. Mays is going on to. That radio show you were just talking about.
Oh, the Ricky Smiley Morning Show.
Yeah, the Ricky Smiley Morning Show.
You know, they just as good as the Wyntis Hall show. They trying to get up there.
Okay.
But, you know, they need 810 News Media Group behind them.
Well, you know, congratulations to them for having such a large star and probably bringing their ratings up at least 30%. I am so happy for them.
You talking about me?
No, the Ricky Smiley.
Oh, you know I'm a star too. That's why I got on my Philip Lovings.
Speaking of stars, this is my beautiful and wonderful co-host, Miss Wyntis Hall.
Thank you, Trevor. I love you.
I'm the guy that got the show named after him. I'm not important, but if you must know, I'm Trevor. And now we're all going to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
So we're telling all our friends. I'm sending it to all our friends right now.
All right, now I can check this off. I finally put intro on my paperwork, so now I remember.
Good, Trevor. I'm glad.
But since we go through the Facebook sphere, that's the main of 810 at the moment. Because I'm hoping that we swap over to YouTube as our main soon. You know, I'm getting tired of getting zucked.
You and Mickey are so into YouTube, but I don't know how to use it that great. I just follow after y'all. If y'all say it's great, I'm good with it.
I could easily share. I mean, it's better than Reddit, which I'm going to start porting over a lot of our stuff over there.
What's Reddit?
Reddit, it's a massive website that you can get any content you want. So name 3 things you're interested in.
Myself.
You can make a subreddit for yourself.
Okay.
For all your fans and followers to go on and talk about you and show their favorite moments.
That's it.
Right. So there's different cars. There's literally anything you want. Culture, any type of culture you want. So there's a Flint subreddit. Go to reddit.com, and then in the search area, you just type in Flint, and it'll take you to r/Flint.
Okay.
And I'm going to start putting a lot of our content on there.
Okay.
I'm probably going to get a different Reddit because no one needs to go through that and then go through my user page and see all the Warhammer 40K stuff I'm into.
That's okay.
They would die of nerdibetes.
Nerdibetes. I like that. I like that. Nerdibetes. We gotta get us a shirt that say nerdibetes.
But since we go through the Facebook sphere mostly,
right?
There has been some character attacks this week on everyone here in the office.
Including the star.
But they could never dim your light.
No, my light is too bright. That's why I gotta wear shades, because I'm a star.
Oh, yeah, you'll blind yourself. And, you know, there's a few things to say about at least the attacks on my character.
Okay.
And, you know, the thing that hurt the most was that it came from someone I thought was a friend. I sat down and I looked in myself, looked at my actions, and I came to the conclusion that I can't be my own judge.
No.
I can't say whether I am or not what he accused me of. That's not for me to say.
Right.
That's for the people that view me, for my friends and family, to say, well, Trevor, yes, you are. No, Trevor, you aren't.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to leave that up to our audience.
Well,
And if they find that those accusations be true, then there's other great content on the platform, and they can go watch you guys. And I'm not going to have no hard feelings about it because you feel how you feel. But the ones that don't feel that way, there's always a bumpy ride on Trevor's Rants.
I know, but Trevor, I gotta be the one to break it to you.
Huh.
You are white.
Yeah. Damn. You don't understand. I walk into the bathroom to take a shower, and I have to put on shades thicker than those.
You are white, Trevor. You are white. I just want to let you know, because I didn't notice that before today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but you got a haircut. You got a haircut.
Oh, yeah.
And a little buzz cut, so I just noticed that you're white.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've never noticed that before.
Wow. I'm surprised. Well, then again, you haven't seen me without my shirt. You wouldn't see anything after.
Thank God. No.
Yes. There's no muscle definition there whatsoever.
We don't do that here at 810. That's not what we do.
I don't know. If this place don't have AC in the summer, if I'm having to work on the walls again, there's going to be a shirtless guy running around.
Oh, Lord.
We'll make sure the lights are off so it doesn't reflect too hard, all right? You're not going to drive by the office, get a flash of blinding light. No, that's not Jesus. That's my chest, unfortunately.
Shut up, Trevor. Go ahead.
I just wanted to put that out there and to say that that's in public domain, and that's your guys' choice whether you feel that way about me or not. And I'm not going to fight it because that looks like I'm trying to prove something one way or another.
Right.
I'm not going to not fight it. So the best way is to win is not to play the game at all.
Let it go.
Ooh, Frozen. Let it go.
Looks
let it
like
go.
another love TKO.
There we go.
So you just gotta let it go. They talked about Jesus. That's like the biggest podcast in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. He had a whole book and everything called the Bible. #1 bestseller in the New York Times.
I mean,
Jesus.
He had more than one book. They just slapped them all together and called them the Bible. The Gospels?
The Gospels.
And there's more than 4. It's just 4 made it into the King James version that we all read today.
Yeah, that's the one I read. The rest of them, just
old.
So yeah. But you're good. Let's go. Just come on.
And then
next one. What else we get next?
Well,
Trevor.
there's a minor podcast in town. You may have heard of it. You probably haven't. And that's okay. But they've been coming after 810 for a while now.
Oh.
And I didn't understand why they jumped onto the character attacks onto me, and they ran with it, and it was kind of adorable. It was like a chihuahua with a big stick.
Oh, that's so cute.
They've gone after you in the past.
Yeah.
And they go after Mr. Mickey. Now, I do need to point out that this is not 810's views. These are mine.
Mm-hmm. Mine too.
There you go. But the owner, producer, and everything of 810 has asked us not to, but this is our show, so we get to do what we want.
What the hell we want to do.
We're the big kids in the room now.
Yep, we're live, and he can't cut us off. Well, he can, but
he won't. He likes us enough.
Yeah, he'll let us go.
He will probably break my jaw after this, but that's fine.
But Trevor, you've got to think about it. You're a star. I'm a star. I'm kind of like legend status almost, so when you at the top, you got to expect for people at the bottom to come after you. I mean, who else?
I suppose.
Imitation is the best form of flattery.
Yeah.
And so when they look at us and they talk about us, I think it's amazing because that lets me know that they want to be like us. I mean, check it out, Trevor. We've had school board presidents.
Mm-hmm.
We've had TV investigative journalists.
Yeah.
The land bank director.
Yeah. The city
mayor.
Council. Mayor.
The mayor. The freaking mayor
has her own damn show.
Right. And she vibes with us.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, I mean, we the best.
Yeah.
To the A10.
This is the only time.
Kevin Roy said only shirtless. Kevin, if he pull off his pants, your brother gonna be sent back to you in a box. Kevin, so you be walking around naked out there with your brother?
No,
so why is he talking about only shirtless? He wants you to go naked?
He's probably saying that my legs and lower extremities have seen less sunlight than the inside of a cave. There you go. Put those on. Why do you think I wear dark colored pants all the time? There's light trying to escape off these legs. Off these chicken legs, they're trying to. But you know, this.
That's right, Kevin Roy. Haters hate y'all because they ain't y'all. Kevin Roy Berryhill, you are a star today.
But this man, this small podcast, it's sad because they feel compelled to compare themselves to us, to tie themselves to us.
Here. Hey, mama. I just had to say hi to mama. Okay.
To tie themselves to us so they can be dragged along in the wake of the success of the people who laid the groundwork. Mr. Mickey with his dreams and vision, you with your hard work and dedication, a mayor.
Right, and you as well.
I'm just some guy. Any trained parakeet could do what I do.
Yeah, but
I just bring a lot of passion to it.
You do, and that's what makes us different from the rest. We do it because it comes from the heart. Right. Oh, look at Kevin Roy. He said you're ultra white.
He's about to call me driven snow.
Your brother is tearing your ass up already on Facebook. Your brother.
That is my brother. And he's not even started. Mickey, you may have to start deleting some comments when he gets going.
We're not blocking your brother.
No, we're not blocking him. We're just deleting comments.
Oh, yeah, Tony, I forgot. And we had the future Flint leader of the National Action Network right there in the studio last night.
Oh, wait, where did he break that, by the way?
Here.
Oh.
On A10 News Media Group. Right
Weird.
Here. And so Tony said, can you imagine what hate is getting ready to come from that announcement? You ain't lying.
Man, it's like pouring water down a sidewalk crack. All sorts of little creepy crawlies going to come up.
Yep, he gave us a major announcement. Then he gave us some tea, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Did you catch that tea last night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Now it's your
I mean, coffee's more my deal, but yes, he did bring a whole jug of tea.
He brought some tea out.
And you know, this other group, they've even tried promoting their knockoff brands in our comments. I want to know what kind of scrap beggar has to sit there and insult us, sit there and insult the entire damn platform, and then try peddling their wares, and then gets upset when that comment gets removed. I'm sorry, that's like a child getting upset, getting into the cookie jar. No! No! Mama, you won't let me have no cookie? Not before dinner. And you're making dinner. This person can't make their own dinner, apparently.
I mean, when you at, like, again, you at the top, like Superman used to fly you, they just trying to grab along to the cape and try to get in the wind with us. Mm-hmm. We're going to leave their ass at the dust in the bottom. At the barrel down there at the bottom.
This person has a quote that I like. Mm-hmm. It's probably the only thing I like that they've said. Men lie. Women lie. Numbers don't.
Yes.
But our least performing show outperforms 10 of their shows on average. How about those for some fucking numbers?
Easy. Everybody, easy.
But you know what? To sum up,
Trevor,
we at A10 don't take criticism from people we won't take advice from.
Boom!
The only advice this person could give us is how to run a dying podcast further into the ground. And we're not in the business of that. So I know you're watching. You always are. You're probably one of our biggest fans. But I want you to remember, 810 is a name, not a dick. Keep it out of your mouth.
Trevor's back. Tony, he's back.
So let's get on to some news now that we've cleared some air
Let's go.
and we've made sure that the dirt is watered.
Let's get it, baby. Let's get it.
So I've been going on to the school board lately.
Yep.
Past 2 episodes. We're going to do some more today.
Okay.
You know, that's where a lot of this started. And I do think that maybe some friends of the school board have put some things out. Maybe I'm pushing the right buttons, or the right spots, like a doctor, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You start pressing around until the patient flinches, and you know you're starting to go into the right spot.
Right.
So the school board not recently, last school year, had an audit. They do just about yearly. It is standard practice. They found several things, and I've only brought a few here.
Okay.
Because these few tie in very well together. They've had issues with their payroll. So several employees' approved pay rate did not reconcile with their actual pay rate. So how much they were getting paid did not make sense with their personnel files. In many situations, the board and/or administration approved pay increases without noting them in the employee's personnel files, sometimes many times on the same employee.
Well, that's what they're getting overpaid.
This caused, in one case, an employee to be overpaid around $15,000 for that year.
Damn, that's a hell of an overpayment.
That is about half the annual salary of the average Flint resident.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, those aren't teachers seeing that pay.
Right.
I mean, dear God, I'd actually be happy if a teacher saw that sort of pay.
Absolutely.
So that was the most egregious overpayment.
Mm-hmm.
But how many others got overpaid? How many others had those differentialities?
That one lady.
She wasn't. That's coming up.
Oh, okay.
And what total did the district lose out on just these unaccounted pay changes? That could be a lot of money. Remember, the Flint schools, even though we are one of the most overfunded, no, not overfunded, there's no such thing as overfunded, but best funded school districts in the state.
Are we?
Yeah.
So that article was true?
Yeah. It was very true.
But the school system sucks.
Yes. I wonder where that money's going.
Not to the children.
Not to the teachers neither.
Okay.
But that ties into the next part. Software functionality was another thing that they found wrong. Many reports were unable to be pulled from the school system software database, such as the inability to pull accounts payable listing specific dates, and an inability to generate specific bank account reconciliation showing all outstanding items on a specific date.
Mm-hmm.
Other issues were the inability to track PTO and generate employee-specific reports. Okay. So now we're seeing this. We've seen overpayment. And now there's a non-union employee payout. One instance where a non-union employee, upon the termination of employment, was paid a significantly, I actually put this in size 16 bold font,
I can see it from here.
significantly higher rate than past practice. This was approved by the board.
Wow. So they didn't think they should know the rules of how much people are going to get paid before they vote on something. Did anybody speak up about this?
Well, here comes the next part. I can't tell you if anyone spoke up.
Okay.
Another thing the audit found wrong, board minutes. During the audit for the 2021-2022 school year, so before our current school board, the auditors and the board had acute difficulty finding minutes and could not locate some at all, in violation of the Michigan Open Meetings Act, Act 276 of 1976, which requires minutes to be available to the public within 5 days, let alone the board, its future iterations, and the damn auditors. So we can't tell if they deliberated on this, or if anyone opposed it. We can't tell. Now, I do remember tell of a secretary that left.
Okay.
Got a huge payout.
Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Went to Mott as a secretary. Got an even bigger pay as a secretary. Then comes back as a contractor.
They let her back?
For a couple hundred, I think it was an hour, as a contractor.
I didn't know she came back.
Yeah. That's like the
Damn.
past practice in my hometown. Mind you, my hometown is a hell of a lot smaller. 15,000 residents when I was growing up. We had a principal. She was my principal, Ms. Zamora.
Uh-huh.
She became superintendent, retired. They couldn't fill the position. So she came back as a contractor for superintendent for 3 times the pay and kept her retirement pay.
Damn. Okay.
Kind of smells a little fishy to me, right?
It does. I mean, what Kevin Roy said, they holding closed door meetings like they do over there in Texas.
Yeah. Here's the thing. There was recently a FOIA dropped on the school board for all of their emails to each other to see if there was any violations of the Open Meetings Act.
Oh. Well, they need to hire Attorney Kim real quick so he can tell them it's okay to meet me, you know.
Oh man, Attorney Kim, the wellspring of if he were my attorney, I'd ask him a question, I'd get his answer, and based off of his limitless wellspring of knowledge, I do the exact fucking opposite.
Right. I would too.
So, hey, Mr. Kim, can I run a red light? Yes. I know not to run that red light now, Mr. Kim.
Right.
I understand. Oh boy.
Here he goes. Oh boy. Here we go.
And it blows my mind though. So now we've got money problems, overpayments, gross overpayments. We've got the inability to track those.
Right.
We can't do it through their software. We can't do it through the board minutes. But finally, one more thing. The school board is required to have a certain required elements on its public website as provided by law and guidelines for budget and salary compensation transparency reporting in MCL 388.16182. Certain elements such as pay, such as number of employees, employee type by salary, XYZ, 1, 2, 3. That's not up there, this audit has found. So now we've got two problems with a lot of money going out, past standard practice, and we've got 3 things obfuscating what anyone can actually see, find, or do. What's the conclusion you draw from this?
Pure fuckery.
Oh, fuckery. Fuckquery. Fuckery. That is the word of the day.
U-C-K.
Query.
You spelled it a whole different way than I was spelling it.
Like daiquiri. It has that nice little flavor. You know, that flavor. Fuckquery.
Fuckery? Okay. I'll go with it.
So here's my conclusion. Here's my opinion. Not the opinion of 810 News Media Group. The opinion of Trevor Berryhill. And if it makes sense, maybe the opinion of some of y'all. With money missing, unaccounted for, or being wildly spent in outside ways of the norm, it appears to me that using the school board's database and conveniently misplacing minutes to make them hard for find, if they can be found at all, or required elements of the school system's mandatory transparency reporting makes me feel like many shady practices were deliberately buried. There are several alarming flaws outlined in the audit, and I'm quite surprised that no investigatory state or federal agency was called in to investigate the obvious corruption from the previous school board. Yes, I am saying it aloud. I believe, in my opinion, that the previous school board had members that were corrupt and playing with money in ways that did not benefit our children, but benefited themselves or their friends.
They're still there. Some of them still there on the current school board.
They are, such as the former treasurer and the former president, both of which many of these problems, such as money, would have to go through, and oversight. They're still there.
Wow.
But, as we broke last week with Mr. Clack here, the DOJ has been called in.
They called the department. Well, somebody called the Department of Justice.
Mm-hmm. It was actually one of those two. I can't remember. I think it might have been Matt Reba.
Nope, Joyce McNeil.
Ah, that one. It was one of the three.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering, did she just shoot herself in the foot?
Allegedly, Joyce McNeil.
I'm wondering if she just shot herself in the foot. You're going to call in the DOJ.
Department of Justice.
You know, the folks that control the FBI and such. And yet there's all these practices that you can, by the way, go online. You know, here, let me grab my phone real quick. I said I wouldn't play around with this very much, and I will link you guys the audit.
Ooh, you gonna post it on your page?
Oh, I'm going to post it in this chat.
Okay. Okie dokie. Hey, Philip.
Good morning, Phil.
Why you doing that? I'll give a shout out to everyone. Tony, Kevin Tay, thank you for joining us. Rant. Oh, Mama Gilchrist on here this morning, and my mama, my lovely birth mama, the mama who raised me to be the great woman I am. I love you, mama. I need $20 too, a little later. Karen Malone, thank you for joining us today. We thank everybody. Some more people on here. I can't see who y'all all are right now.
Smart.
Derek Smart. Derek Smart. Derek Smart. Derek Smart.
That was a whole
That's a
sentence.
statement. That Derek Smart. He told me and Derek fell out a few years ago because he was telling me everything that was gonna happen. You getting played by Neely. No, you're wrong. Lemonhead. Neely is right.
And then Derek, smart.
Derek Smart.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you might have to play around with the link a little bit. It is coming off my phone. However, I sent it to myself in my email from my computer, so you can just highlight, right-click, copy, and paste into your web browser, a separate web browser. Keep watching us. You still got more fun.
Shut up, Kevin. Kevin said my mama need to boot me.
So, with that public, and with many of these issues that she is complaining about,
How you doing?
with many of these,
I don't know.
oh, someone's wanting to go next door.
Yeah, we ain't got nothing to do with next door.
Nah, it ain't me.
Keep on moving.
But with many of these things, including what she's complaining about, the payment to Doc Green to cover equally and fairly her court expenses.
As they should.
As they should. You do for one, you do for the other.
Absolutely.
The board itself is a neutral entity. People on that board can have their biases as they damn well please.
Mhm.
Wrong, right, indifferent, backwards, forwards, however. But if two people in that entity on that board have a falling out and a court is required, then the board must pay for both of their court fees.
Uh-huh.
She's upset that that rule is followed.
Well, ain't shit she can do about it. They want to follow the rules when it's convenient for them, is what you're saying.
Here's her utter stupidity. Hers and her ilks.
Ilks.
Ilk. Oh, trust me. Kith and kin are about to start coming into my vernacular. But hers and her ilks.
Oh, Tony said, where's Pastor Gilbert hiding at these days? You know where he is? He was on the former school board.
No, I ain't heard hide nor hair.
Okay.
I wish I knew what hair. Look, it's coming down on hunting season. I don't hunt. I might have to go take. But get me back on.
Okay, all right, go back.
So they are upset that this was done. However, what could have happened is if the school board didn't pay that $9,000 only, mind you, in court fees, she could turn around and sue. So then you have non-completion of contract, bias, prejudice. Could you imagine what that would amount to, and what that would take away from our kids? I mean, hell, our kids, there's supposed to be something like $21,000 spent per kid. They're only seeing pennies on the dollar on that. Could you imagine how little they'd be getting with a lawsuit that could smack them for millions?
I mean,
and they're feeling this type of way over that.
I mean, you already got some of the ignorant school board members telling the public that the ESSER funds
are public funds.
I mean, that's some of the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life.
Man, you're telling Rando Joe off the street, who may or may not have a child in our school system here. Mind you, I have one child in, one child out.
Right.
To come in and put money in Rando Joe's pocket, not our kids' school books, not our kids' classrooms, not our kids' schools. Have you seen DTM lately?
No.
So both my kids went to DTM.
Sorry, Mott.
And my mother-in-law fought to get them in there because, number one, it's just around the corner from us, even though we aren't in its little zone of the district.
Where's the Sorry Mott at? I'm thinking of Doyle Ryder.
University Drive.
He's got it.
Down the street from Elwood Stadium.
Right
Okay,
next.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
right next
okay.
to
Kettering. It's not
Kettering.
Yeah, I got
at
it.
a public library. I mean, not the museum.
The Children's Museum?
Yeah.
Okay,
right next door to that.
okay.
But it is also, at the time, one of the top performing schools.
Oh.
My kids last year there, my youngest was in 5th grade, my oldest was in 6th. I walked in to pick one of them up. She was sick, but it was raining.
Mm-hmm.
They had lined the fucking hallways with trash cans because of how many drips there were.
Oh yeah, that's not. I mean,
how are kids supposed to learn in that type of environment?
They did that when I was in school. I graduated in '94. I mean, we used to have beatboxes off of the rain dropping in the bucket. I'm just saying.
I mean, and then during the summer, my kids were telling me, the late months of the summer before they get out for break, or, later months of the summer when they come back from break, they had kids passing out in the classroom.
Because it was so damn hot.
So damn hot. They don't have any sort of cooling except for a fan. Well, you know what an oscillating fan does in a 92-degree room? It pushes 92-degree air around.
That's it.
And you can't really open the windows. I don't know why, but you can't really open the windows there. So you're not getting any fresh air being pulled in or pushing the hot air out. Our schools are in disrepair, but these ladies, these folks, these people are so dead set on making the school board.
That's when them kids was falling out in the classroom getting sick.
DTM.
Yeah, it was hot as
But
hell.
then they had mold in them classes too, as far as door riding.
Yeah, it's got to be
Some of them,
mold in
yeah.
those
I mean,
classes.
if they've got that much rain pouring through,
Because remember, the kids
It's-
were still going at door rider.
And they had to close that school down, didn't they? Because it got so messed
I
up.
believe so, yeah. Miss Tatar drove me around on that the same day as Pulaski Fire,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
And she was showing me all these old schools. I think that was one of them.
Yeah.
What is the popcorn popper?
Remember they wanted, I think Flynn was trying to get a popcorn popper. It was supposed to be like about almost 20,000, supposed to be the best popcorn in the country. But
I
I'm
mean,
just saying,
You throw in regular popcorn, and when it pops, it gets gold leaf on it.
You see, talk about that damn story.
yeah.
Okay, Tony, we'll get on the story. I got you.
I mean, I know that one was slapped down. The pop. Did he come back with that?
Who? Flynn?
With the damn popcorn popper again?
Flynn gone. He left town.
But that's what they was giving him a hassle for. Remember when he went to council, they was like,
Yeah, like what you need a
Yeah, I remember
popcorn
that.
popper for.
$20,000.
Yeah.
Like, how about you just open up the place, make profits for a while, and then put the popcorn popper in and produce more profits? But I don't know.
I want them to get it from the Aqua funds. and getting everybody else getting a piece of it. Let it go.
Ain't no damn ARPA fund money left.
Every goddamn person has opened up a 501c3 or LLC to get their hands in that pocket.
I haven't.
What do you call them, Mickey? 501c3 trappers.
That's the new set.
You're going to have to come up with a catchy term for LLCs now.
Yeah.
So, but these folks are so angry that they want our kids to have even less than they already do. Last I saw, mind you, this was when Scott was opened again to be a middle school, right before it got closed to be I don't know what type of school Scott is now. I know the school system still controls it, but it's not quite a middle school no more.
It's like a
like an independent learning facility, I believe, right?
I seen something like that, but I don't know what they do in there.
So when my oldest was going there, before I had to rip my youngest out for being assaulted, they had history books that showed George Herbert Walker Bush as president.
Damn. That's the daddy, ain't it?
That's the daddy. That's HW.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking for a minute. Does it go G then H or H then G? But anyway, no. That's Old Man Bush. That's Ambassador Bush's kid. That's a fucking old book.
And that's the books that our kids are using in Flint schools.
Last time I stepped foot into an actual 100% Flint school, yes. My oldest now goes to Mott Middle.
Okay.
Which is half run by the school district, half run by Mott Community College.
Okay.
So I don't know what the school district really does there. Most of it's done by the community college resources, all that. Even walk away with an associate's degree.
You know, I got a big conspiracy theory.
You know, I'm conservative. I love those.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay, so here's my conspiracy theory. Now, this is just me.
It's just her.
This is just my opinion.
It's not this. It's just her.
Because, you know, I talk to myself and I say self. You always hear me say that.
Mm-hmm.
I say self. It would be hard for me to be on the school board and try to convince somebody else to send their children to the Flint schools when the school board members don't send their children to the Flint schools. Let me give you a prime example.
I like those.
Now, we have 1A, the Laura lady. Okay?
Reba, gotcha.
Reba. She sends her kids to another school district. Lake Fenton. Beautiful school. Okay.
She drives a hot minute to get her kids to school.
Maybe not.
She's got an Uber.
I'm a conspiracy theorist.
Okay.
So now we have this team.
Wait for a second.
Uh-huh.
Maybe that's where all these funds are disappearing to. Her kids' Uber fund to get them to school.
Could be.
All right, so let's continue.
But I'm saying now, she's working very hard. And she was working very hard against Dr. Green when Dr. Green was here to try to help get Mott to fund some of the programs. She was getting a lot of pushback from Reba. Okay?
No, wait, don't her kids go to a school that benefit from these programs?
That's what I'm saying. So one would make the mind wonder. You're letting your children benefit from all of the Mott programs. But the babies here in Flint, black, white, blue, green, that you don't want them to benefit from the Mott programs.
Oh,
now,
that's easy.
But this is
her kids are more important than mine. Fuck my kids.
What? Oh, you sound like Tony. But here's the other level to that. Mott, $1 billion foundation worldwide. Reba, Mott. Don't know too many people fight against the big world foundation without pushback. So are you really fighting them or are you helping them? Because if Flint schools fail, guess who's going to come in and scoop them up?
You mean a foundation that has decades worth of educational and institutional experience that could easily step in and that would probably be approved by state and county without even a bat of an eye.
I'm just saying.
That sounds crazy. That's ludicrous.
There goes our funding.
He said there goes our funding.
Oh,
but I'm
Jesus.
just saying.
Hold up, Mickey. As many people as we pick fights with, as many people as we call out for their sheer stupidity and audacity.
It's just a conspiracy.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to get the rest of
The wall done. You want to get the wall done first before we go after my.
I mean,
But I mean,
It's not going after
I know-
my.
I know they don't
it's
like
not
us.
going after my.
But I thought Mott was gonna come in. I've been seeing them
No.
put $1 million here, $1 million there. I thought they'd give
Mickey,
me
you
some.
saw that rumor though, right?
What?
Judy funds this place.
Oh yeah. yeah.
Oh man, let me just say, whoever thought up that one, I don't do drugs. I haven't done drugs since I was a child. But whatever you're on, I might want to
but
try.
you still did them. Just shut up while you ahead.
Look, I don't hide things, right?
Oh my
You
God.
ask me, you get an answer. But
But
whatever
see,
this person on,
Philip, that's a good one. Philip
I'm
said,
not reading. So what did Philip say?
for what Mott has under its belt, would it be such a bad thing if Mott took over Flint schools?
All right, Mr. Philip, let me hit you with this. All right, sorry. Mickey just psychically made the mic hit me because some shit. Anyway, so would it be a bad thing now? I don't think so. However, how did it get to this point? Remember, we just had the school board president on last week, and he recalled a tale from his childhood, first grade, where children from, he said it was either China or Japan, one of the two. I'm willing to bet Japan, because at his age at that time, we were very adversarial with all the communist blocs. So probably Japan, to show how a public school system is supposed to be run. What that means is we were doing so damned well with educating our kids here in the 80s that other countries wanted to learn from the city of Flint. And then it is downgraded from there. And when you come from that kind of height, you don't fall like that with it being all accidental. I'm pretty sure there were a few missteps left right here, there. But I don't think it is all just missteps. I do think that there is some movement that is hard for us to see, say through transparency reporting not being reported, or missing minutes, or software functionality issues that have happened throughout the decades that have brought us to this low point. When Flint lost its status,
Tax base.
when it lost its status, when the GM plants, majority of them moved out.
Yeah.
Well, it lost its importance. It lost its protections. Because without those here, yes, several people moved away. Those who couldn't stayed. And when they stayed, they had to settle for either lesser employment or no employment, which broke the tax base. So then what do you do with the population? Well, you dumb them down. You get them hooked on X, Y, and Z, whether it be government funding because we're not going to allow anything else big to come in here, or we throw a liquor store on every corner,
Right.
or we throw a weed store on every fucking corner, and then we just use them as a base to elect the people we want because we are not educating our children anymore.
Right.
And as every politician has said, an uninformed voter is the best voter.
Right.
Because you can say anything, get away with everything, and they'll still vote for you.
I remember, I don't think you were in Flint at this time, but
What
they
year?
had, I can't even tell you what year it was.
Oh, in that case, you were probably right.
It was a guy. He came in. Was he superintendent at the time, the Chinese guy? And he said, now this is back when the Flint schools was first on the decline. Go back with me. In our audience, some of you may remember.
Oh, if you're saying first on the decline, yeah, I think I was barely learning what my toes were.
Okay. Well, this is when they were first on the decline, like real bad decline. And he said that he was going to He said that all Flint needed was one school. He said the way we're declining, we just need one high school, one middle school, one elementary school. The only thing that was wrong with that, he wanted to build shit underground. That just messed us all up. But he was right in the concept of where he was going. Like, we're not going to need all of these schools.
Let me slap back
We
against
don't
that.
like change in Flint.
Let me slap back against that, though. Had our schools not been mismanaged, had our schools not had their money sapped a fucking way, had we not failed our students so bad, we would have a lot more than 6,000 students right now. We wouldn't have people running the fuck away or sending their kids so goddamn far away. We would have more here. So you would still need more schools.
And I can't understand. Mr. Woods did all that fighting to get the money back from GISD. And it seemed like they slowly giving them the money right back. What does GISD do for Flint schools? Do you know?
No. No, I don't.
Does anybody out there know, like, what programs do they fund? Or, because do we have special education still in Flint schools?
Yes.
Okay.
That is actually, so the budget that I pulled out last week, which actually isn't a full budget, it's a summary. Well, we'll get into that here in a second.
Okay.
It's broken down into 3 blocks. Our general fund, which comes from local levies, it comes from, like the mileage and stuff. It comes from state, and it comes from federal. Then you go into grants. That's things like foundation grants. That's things, U of M grants, whatever grants, and ESSER funds.
Mm-hmm.
The last category that it shows is special education funds. So there are 3 big sources that they actually care to show the money. Special education funds is one of them. We have a lot of special education programs and funding here in Flint. Which reminds me, yes, our children have been exposed to lead and the chemicals and such. I'm getting tired of hearing the schools and the school systems blame poor performance on that. Our children are just as fucking capable. You just have to find a different way of teaching them.
Well, they built that research school for kids down there by Durant Torremont, back there in the back. Mm-hmm. I really haven't even seen that school yet. That Educare or something like that.
Yeah, it looks like it's more for like preschool.
But it looks like, like they studying our kids, like they hooking up brain monitors. I'm not saying that's what they doing, but it's like they studying our children. It looks like it's some science fiction shit. Right, and then they let them go after 6, and then it's like they built the new school for them on Pasadena.
Mm-hmm. But it still strikes me, right? Like, it feels like the Flint schools are using this horrible fucking tragedy that happened to our kids, to our population, to our city, a national level embarrassment, as a free pass. Our kids are failing because the water crisis. No. Our kids are just as capable. And when you keep on espousing that bullshit, you put it into my kid's head that she can't do whatever the hell she sets her mind to. You are telling these kids that they are lesser than their peers in other districts. And that is bullshit.
They happen. I've been hearing that too. And that's a true statement. Some of the teachers in the Flint schools have been telling the kids when they say, I want to
be the president.
Right. Well, maybe you should consider going into cosmetology. Ain't that fucked up? Boy?
That is the worst fucking thing. I don't care what the kid is. I don't care who the kid is. If you come up to me as a child with a sincere dream in your heart, I'm going to tell you get it. I'm going to tell you are more than capable. I'll tell you are more capable than I am.
Right.
Because I'm old.
Philip,
I'm already setting my shit.
I'm shooting this to you because I like your ideas. I like where we're going with this. We have a show for everything. Let's talk about, you're doing the schools. He's saying, Philip said again, Philip, thank you so much for your interaction.
Phil, you are fucking awesome, buddy.
A state takeover through the county?
I mean, Flint as a whole, not just our schools, through our city council, through our mayor, through everything, is starting to lean more and more and more and more on the state.
So
remember how
you think Flint gonna be absorbed into the county or something?
that is a possibility, or at least just a little marionette.
Okay.
It's a city in name only.
Okay.
Because if you take a look at it, Flint used to be able to make a lot more money off of our tax base, okay? It used to actually fine and forfeit, okay? It used to do anything and everything. It used to have other ways of making money.
Right.
Now its only ways of making money are through taxes, which isn't all that great. It's actually dropped off.
Right.
Through our water bills, which keep going up. By the way,
taxes did too.
Yes, they did.
Mm-hmm.
But going on a side tangent here, when I reported $180, I had 5 people in my house. That was still a $92 jump. With those 2 extra people gone and out, it's a 3-person household. It is $130 stable.
Damn. Okay.
But yes, tax appraisals. We're about to get taxed more. And as I've heard you say several times, first time Flint was bought out. This time it's going to be taxed out.
Yeah.
But the biggest, by far, contribution to the city of Flint coffers into the general fund is state revenue.
Do tell.
So our coffers here in the city of Flint, literally half of it comes from the state, about 25 million.
Okay.
And that is just state throwing in. The state does this for every city.
Okay.
But Flint has become so impoverished that without that money, we crumble. Now, I want you to imagine for a minute, you're on city council or you're the mayor,
Mm-hmm.
and the state...
Mayor Weaver, though. I don't want to be limited.
Mayor Wyntis.
Okay.
Okay. There we go.
Okay. I'm Mayor Wyntis.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
you were told through one channel or another,
Mm-hmm.
via government channels, that this program is coming down the pipeline,
Mm-hmm.
and that the state highly endorses it.
Okay. Okay.
Knowing that half your funds come from the state, what do you feel has to happen now?
I have to endorse the program as well in order to keep my seat, because
If the city goes under, you're not keeping that seat.
that's right.
And now you're a villain for the rest of your life for destroying the city.
Yep.
Yeah. And we've heard tale of this. We've heard literal tale of this from Doc Weaver,
Mm-hmm.
where not just the state, but the county. And I think that's where a lot of the pushback comes from, where along the Flint River, the city spent millions to clean it up, have a nice place for the residents to go to, and then they were taking a look at the possibility of holding public festivals or things of that sort there, like the food trucks
Mm-hmm.
that they have events, have that there, and then, date night type thing for the kiddos, for the teens, for revenue. You can rent out slots for stalls, for carnival stalls, for food stalls. That was part of the plan, so Flint can make its own money.
Mm-hmm.
The county walked into her office. Could you imagine the balls on this motherfucker? Talking to a woman who had just spent several $1 million of the city's money to try to make the city more money, and says, that area of the river you just cleaned up, we want it. She goes, yeah, we could work together on that. No, we want full control of it.
Of the river.
Of that part of the river that they cleaned up. They don't want the river. They want that nice, clean, pretty section.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, she told them to pack sand, but with nicer words.
Right. Right.
And you can kind of see where certain things played out from that sort of angle.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gretchen, the gremlin,
Mm-hmm.
gets in
Mm-hmm.
on Dr. Weaver's back.
Sure did. Had her face painted on the side of her damn bus.
And she starts encroaching into Flint.
Mm-hmm.
And now Dr. Weaver is a smart woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she has a doctor in front of her name.
Right. A real doctorate's residency program, fellowship, everything. Not a doctor of evaluation.
You just blew me away at fellowship, because fellowship is extra.
Yeah.
But
it is.
this woman was playing 4D chess and keeping the state from encroaching and constantly upsetting the state
Mhm.
and its plans and the county and their plans. And then you see it last election, where any and all positive outcomes in Flint that were orchestrated by the state, such as just signing a bill at Mott Community College, had the mayor come. And anytime that something happened, like a highway is clean and open, there's no potholes anymore, which, by the way, you're a fucking liar.
Right.
There's the mayor and his wife.
Well, no, there aren't any potholes now. We got craters.
Damn right. But there's the mayor and his wife. And then there's the open endorsement of the mayor. And we have seen in his tenure that the state is getting more and more control over what happens here.
Right. You noticed that too?
I've known it. And
Yeah.
when I ran for state rep, that's one of the things I wanted to stop. I wanted Flint to be Flint. I don't want it to be F period Michigan.
Right.
It is Flint, goddamn Michigan.
Our mayor is a
marionette.
strings, it's like, seriously. And but Phil, you like doing research. I want to read Philip's comment. He said, look into the Houston Integrated School District and Texas state education. The pull between local and state control. That's what he's talking about. So the Houston Integrated School District and Texas state education. Philip, you know a lot about this.
Houston Integrated School District. I mean, hey, Kevin, you still here, bud? And then what was the second thing? Texas state education?
Texas state education, the pull between local and state control. So I guess they got Kevin.
Kevin lives in Texas.
Kevin Roy, your brother, he stays in Texas.
Yeah.
Okay, and Philip knows a lot about Texas. So yeah, I can't wait till you talk about that.
I don't know much about Houston. I never lived in Houston. Honestly, Flint is the first blue city I ever lived in. I usually avoid these.
Blue cities?
Mm-hmm.
With your Republican ass.
It's just, I don't like being taxed by a fucking city, for God's sake.
It ain't that much taxes, is it?
Any taxes is taxes.
Taxation
is theft, damn it!
Well, that was your people who said no more taxes. That was the Bushes.
The Bushes also thought that it was a great idea not to fail students.
No child left behind.
Which is the dumbest shit I ever heard when it comes to education. Not all Republicans are good. I will call them stupid if they're fucking stupid, and that was fucking stupid.
Well, that's why your ass didn't get back by the Republican board.
Well, then they shouldn't be stupid. Fuck.
You need to get with Tudor, because she called her ass a stupid too.
Yeah.
Tony, I heard that too, Tony Wiggins. I heard that.
I think he might have heard me yell fuck from here. I'm sorry, guys.
No, Tony said this now. This is allegedly, but that is the word on the street. Now, I got to give a little tea on your show.
Come on with the tea. He said, he had a bit. Oh, shit.
Tony said that the Flint educators.
Let's start from the beginning.
Allegedly say that that the students got the best weed. That's what the teachers are saying about the Flint school.
Talking about the vision. He said the teacher said.
Yeah, the teachers be getting weed from the students.
So, and you.
I heard that too.
Allegedly.
He just typed it in there. Allegedly.
So the
teachers are buying. I mean, that's nothing new, to be honest. You can go to any large city, and teachers are buying off the kids. And I'm actually very happy that it's only weed.
Tony, what's this last comment you said he put in here? Okay, Philip said GISD is an example of this happening in Michigan. Okay. So Tony
I'm willing
said,
to bet it's got a downward trend.
I just had a vision. Remember when that...
Don't worry about that.
Okay.
How about you read off the one that you wanted?
I'm straight.
Oh, okay.
I just caught it.
Oh, you just got it? Cool. So that's how things are going, though. When an entity outside of the local, say county over city.
I just read his comments.
Say county over city. Say state over city. The city needs to have more control of its own local resources and its own direction. We need the city to have control over our school district and to teach our children. I want, as a parent, to have input. When the county comes in, that's further away from me. When the state comes in, that's further and higher away from me. I want to be able to control my kids' future. And it's the same with our city council. When you have outside entities, whether they be private or government, putting more and more pressure on our city council, then it takes power away from us. It takes say away from us.
Kevin Roy, I love you too. Well, he said he loves the whole show. I'm sorry. You was talking, but he said he loved me. Go ahead, Trevor. You know how I am.
I know how you are.
This is how we click. I'm sorry, y'all.
You're a star. I must understand that I'm working with a star. There we go. But we got one last thing.
One last thing. Okay.
Actually, well, no, we got a few. It goes into city council, though.
Well, another question for you.
Yes.
Nancy. Hey, good to see you, my sister.
Hey.
Nancy Robin Adams said she thought GISD was strictly for the mentally handicapped children.
I don't know about that one. But then, is that on a side from the Flint special education?
I don't know.
Does it add to, or is it different, or is it?
Now, would GISD be the one to fund for? Because we got a lot of kids. The Flint, the water crisis, the COVID crisis, all of the crises. Would GISD get a mental health program? Do we have something like that in our schools for the children?
Not that I've ever heard of, and I've had, several students come to my house because they're friends with my daughters, and several of these students are in severe need of behavioral health, and I've spoke with their parents about it. And you'd think that if I, a layman, can pick up on it, that teachers would,
right?
If the teachers care. Then again, when you're getting paid less than a fucking Caesar salad to watch 30 screaming gremlins that are not your own, you might tune them out after a little while.
One to you. Philip said, when you put a city into a county mix at a state's direction, that reduces a city's resources and control of itself. And yes, it's saying exactly what Trevor is saying. At the same time, he said it. Great minds stink alike. I know you meant to say think, but you guys both stink.
I was just going to say, he's got the great mind.
You guys are both saying the same thing.
Yeah, I'm just a broken clock that's right twice a day.
Well, that's okay.
That's okay. We're on the same time, though, buddy.
Right.
I'm just the broken part. So now we go into city council, and I didn't have as much to go into. Oh. And this isn't even about their behavior.
Okay.
I went through their agendas more.
Okay.
Because that I can study. When I go into behavior, I get caught up in feelings and other bullshit, and I'm not diving into that. Okay. But in a special affairs committee meeting agenda for 2/27/23, on page 32, there is a budget for the Community Development Block Grant, or the CDBG, from the U.S. Department of Housing. Items 4 and 5, 22 and 23 are listed as to be determined. If you go off the rest of the sheet, many things are doubled. One item right underneath another. It says the same name, same project number, same money. So we can extrapolate from that. 4 and 5 are the same thing, and 22 and 23 are the same thing. However, what strikes me is that these yet to be determined projects have money value already set aside. So they don't know what they're doing. They don't know a name. They don't know anything. It is to be determined, not decided, not nothing else, to be determined. Already have monetary value set aside in the amounts of $180,700.70 and $105 or $105,822.40 respectively. That's a lot of money for projects you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Now, these were approved by Angela Wheeler and Shelby Freyer.
Oh, they both gone.
But if they're to be determined, how do you get very specific amounts for it?
I don't know.
It's already determined is what it is. They already know what's going to happen there. They already know who's doing it. They've already set aside the funds for it. They just don't want to put it on the paper right now or when it was published.
But I got questions.
Mhm.
Besides that, since we just diving in the city council, I just got like about 3-4 quick questions for you.
All right, rapid fire. Let's go.
Okay.
I'm playing.
What's up?
Do you think that Dennis Pfeiffer want to buy the golf courses? Have you heard that? I've been hearing that rumor.
Look, then he has to recuse himself from the vote to approve.
Okay.
Period. End of
But
story.
what if he put it in another name or something like that? He still got to recuse his vote? Like, what if we find
If
out?
he has any sort of interest in it, if he is buying it through an LLC, if he's buying it through, a company that he only has a share in, he should recuse himself. Because to me, that is a conflict of interest. He can always vote yes for himself. Yes, I'm going to vote for me to pay bottom dollar for these 2 golf courses to make top dollar.
Right.
That is a conflict of interest. He needs to recuse himself.
Well,
He needs to abstain from that vote.
He does. But, I've been hearing a lot about him. Now, this is your show, but I still got to add a little shade to it, right?
Mhm.
So, allegedly, the streets say,
Allegedly,
the streets say
we suppose.
that Pfeiffer
Mhm.
and Neely are working together to create the city's own land bank. Boom, you heard it here. If it happened, you heard it here. What you think about that?
That actually kind of makes some sense.
It makes some sense. We don't. Okay.
I'm saying the direction things are going, it does point to that. I'm not saying that this is a good idea.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fuck no.
Okay.
So take a look at it. Mayor promised, because I only call one person mayor, is Mr. Lemonhead. The other person is doctor, because she earned that fucking title.
Right.
Anyway, so mayor said these blighted buildings will be torn down by 2024, 2025.
Yeah, Neely said that the mayor was going to be torn down by 2024.
Okay. He did not consult the land bank. He didn't even talk to the land bank about that.
They went on record saying 2026 is when they projected that the ones they have on the list now to be torn down, not the stuff that they burning down every damn day right now. So
now,
it's going
that one arsonist, that singular arsonist running around Flint.
I got on my Blight Bitch t-shirt.
God, she was really cool to meet. I still can't believe you brought a Fed in here, though.
Oh, shut up. Listen, so ex-Fed. She's an ex-Fed. She worked for, ATF?
Them's the scary ones. Them, you know what? I'll tell you about them off camera because I don't want to get Ruby Ridge.
Okay. All right.
Like so, 4 people's ears just perked up. What the fuck?
Yeah, they're not that bad. So anyway, I'm not scared.
You love your dogs?
I'm not scared of the feds.
You love your dogs?
Yeah.
Then don't talk bad about them. First thing they do is kick in your door, shoot your dog.
The ATF? Oh my God, no.
Now, thankfully, Ronnie is a good woman and only worked on the publicity side.
Right. Yeah.
I like her. She's
she
cool.
wasn't deep diving into, but back to to my Blight Bitch stuff. She said it's more than one arsonist, but what she can't get.
But city council said there's only one. They said there's a arsonist, not there are arsonists. They said a.
City council said the budget is balanced too.
The city council said crime's down, but hey, I almost got mugged yesterday.
The city council said that the mayor had a degree.
City council said that we don't have potholes in town no more.
City council said they're getting along. I thought we were on to something.
You got me with that one.
I thought we were on to something here.
You got me with that one. Ouch.
Well, look, so according to the bad Blight Bitch sister of mine, she said that she can't even get a number of fires from out the city. But don't they have to be reported to the state?
Yes.
Where's the number?
I mean, look, any government in the city of Flint is fucked. Any. This is honest and straight talk. I'm not making jokes. Flint has forever and a day made it its own business to hide its business from the
Right.
people who vote for it.
Absolutely.
That is the business of Flint.
Right.
Whether it's our school board, whether it's our city council. And when state authorities come in or they hire an outside private contractor, such as the school board audit, because that was a private institution that came in, hired by the state to audit them,
Mm-hmm.
they still conveniently don't report things.
Right.
So, I don't think we'll ever find out how many fires are in the city of Flint on a given year, day, month, week, whatever. Because, in their opinion, it is none of our business, even though we're the ones that have to live with the fallout.
Yep, Tony, he is.
What?
Quincy introduced language to repeal the emergency manager law. He said it has to go before our state rep for reading. Is he referring to Cynthia Neely to read this book?
Yeah, but she can't read.
Who was that to see? That's what.
I just walked right into that. You gotta tell me when Tony be typing.
No.
Tony, you made me walk right into that one, didn't you?
Y'all have raised my blood pressure.
Your blood pressure, we about to go.
Levels.
All right. I'm gonna let Trevor wrap up.
We've got some things that won't get your blood pressure up, but it still goes into it.
Wrap it up in 60 seconds.
I'm sorry, but I typed this shit out, Mickey. I stayed up all fucking night.
Well, you about to go to sleep.
All right.
Come on,
Through various readings of agendas, past and present,
right.
I've come across a curious trend in the contracts approved by City Council. Many of the contracts with large dollar amounts seem to go to companies outside of Flint.
Yep.
From places close like Burton.
Yep.
To places far away like Saginaw. ARPA funds are meant to reinvigorate the economies of the cities that they went to. Flint got so much because we have a population that is so far below the poverty line. And majority of the population is. So according to iOS company news, iosconews.com, and you can look this up and verify for yourselves. They say about Flint, among the 45 places in Michigan with available data in populations of at least 25,000 or higher, Flint ranks as the poorest. The typical Flint household earns $30,383 a year, compared to the statewide median household income of $59,234 a year. The statewide median is nearly double what most people in Flint live off of. That is why Flint got so much in the ARPA funds. And yet we see City Council approving this money to go and fix things so stupid and mundane, like the street lights. You know what? It'd be nice to fix the street lights if they ever turned them the hell on. But they want to throw several $100 light bulbs into them, LED light bulbs that are going to freeze, they're going to weigh down, they're going to crack and break, and you just wasted a couple more of my dollars. But you don't pay the damn power bill to have them on in front of our houses anyway. Our crime is up, but you won't turn on the lights so we can see around us. And then when it does come to projects, whether it's for the good of the city or not, you're not giving the money to the people of the city to work for, at very least.
Right.
To renovate the fire stations, you've contracted a company from Burton. This money is for Flint.
Wait a minute. Oh, you made my chest hurt. You said they renovating the fire stations?
A few areas, and then the training rooms.
But they only make the trainers only make $10.10 an hour. That's as stupid as them renovating the council chambers that don't nobody come to, and won't give the residents any money.
And the company that they hired from Burton to do these renovations, which includes demolition, construction, remodeling, is a painting company. A painting company. Basically, a knockoff brand Sherwin-Williams. But here's the other trend in those contracts. Many of the contracts, you see the line, only responsive bidder is awarded the contract. May I remind everyone, a few months ago, of the Alcera contract where Alcera was the only responsive bidder. How many of these contracts, how many of these bids go out that they say they give to several different companies and people, but they only give to one, and we can't prove otherwise, and they won't investigate otherwise.
Right.
And it goes to places outside of the city of Flint. It doesn't go to the people of Flint. I'm not asking you to cut everyone in Flint a fucking paycheck. I'm asking you to look at the companies of Flint, the companies that reside here, that start here, that actually that flourish here, or would, if you just gave them the chance to earn the money that was given to you from the federal government for them in the first place.
Right.
But you don't, and you won't, and I want to know why.
Why?
Is it because the people of Flint's workmanship is shoddy in your opinion?
Well,
Is it because we aren't fucking worth it in your opinion?
come on now.
Will you fucking answer us? We have been yelling at city council for so long, and instead we get snippy comebacks.
Preach.
We get the noble on the horse bitching at the peasant in the shit.
Tell the story.
And why can't you just come out and openly say why you are doing this to us? Why it has to go outside of the city? Why you're even giving contracts or bids to companies outside of the city?
Yes.
When it's the city's money for the city's people.
Yeah.
I think that was a rant.
Well, that's the way to
That's
leave
it.
That's it. Can't say no more.